A lot of people doubt themselves, you know.
A lot of people
doubt themselves, but I think I don't know if they doubt themselves because of comparison or because of self-belief.
Well, in this video, we're going to give you 3 ways of how you can overcome self-doubt, because self-doubt is actually one of the biggest killers. A lot of people have the skill. They actually have the thing that they need to do the thing that they want to do, like the actual infrastructure of the thing, but they just don't have the self-belief in themselves to actually follow through and make it work. So the first thing you need is you need evidence that you can actually do the thing. In other words, get your reps in. When you go to the gym, your first, second, third session in the gym after being a newbie for how long is not going to be the thing that helps you get into the shape that you want, right? You're not going to be able to go from lifting 5 kg on the dumbbells to going and lifting 25 kg in 3 days. It's not going to work. You need to slowly build up that muscle and actually accept, right, I doubt myself right now. I have very little self-esteem, very little self-belief right now, but I'm actively going to put myself in situations to help me overcome that. Now, if we take an example of, you know, like what we did with our young people today in Sprint to Success, certain people came up to the front and they'd never been in a situation where they're actually public speaking before. Granted, they're only doing it in front of 2 people, but going forward, if they turn that room from 2 people to 5 people to 10 to 15 people, gradually their confidence in actually speaking to people, their intonation, I know mine did, like the more exposure that I had to have in public speaking engagements is the more that I was comfortable in actually speaking to people. I'm still not 100, like I still have to be prepared in certain instances to be comfortable in speaking to certain people, but someone like Lewis, who's a lot further along in his journey, would be a lot more comfortable in speaking in front of a large group of people because he has the evidence that he's done it multiple times. There's multiple video recordings of him, multiple instances that he can rely on, as well as him having put his reps in to actually know, right, this story that I'm going to deliver lands very well because I've done it multiple times.
So what if people have the evidence but they're not embracing it though? Because some people will resist it.
There's a lot of people that have the evidence. I'm going to give an example, right, of somebody that does go to the gym a lot. Somebody that does go to the gym, they have the evidence of having a good body, they're jacked, whatever, but they still don't feel confidence. Now, confidence it's like an aura. It's like something you wear. It's like you put on your clothes, you put on your Nike Tech, you put on your shoes, but you're missing the hat. You're missing a watch. You're missing the jewelry. You're missing the cologne. Do you know what I mean? It's not enough to just wear the thing. You have to wear the thing with style in a way where people are like, raw. I don't doubt this person, so why should they? If you doubt yourself, somebody a mile away is going to smell that you don't believe in yourself, because self-belief, like I said, is something that you wear. It's like if you're not wearing a belt, someone can visibly see you're not wearing a belt. So wear your belt. Like, wear your belt. Do you know what I mean?
Like, the amount of young people who are walking around with their trousers around their ankles is outrageous.
Honestly, and the worst thing about it is like, no one knows that you're not confident, but people know that you're not confident. You can be one of 2 things. And I know you guys know this, where you've had one person that is just trying to be something that they're not. And you can tell that they're trying to be something that they're not because it's inauthentic. That's not to say that person shouldn't try. And that's not to say that person feels not confident at that point in time and is trying to put themselves in a position where they are building up their confidence. But you know that person's not confident because they are at the beginning of their journey. That person's going to do and put themselves in more and more situations where they can build up their confidence. But I say all of that to say you can tell the difference between someone who is confident and who is not confident. But the person who is confident, they might not be confident, but you don't know, because it's all in how they present themselves and what aura they're carrying.
So what's the second one?
The second one is positive self-talk. I'm not gonna lie, guys, too many of us are degrading ourselves. Self-affirmations, positive self-affirmations are a very real thing. Like, you might think, oh, I'm not spiritual, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the type of person to stand in front of my mirror and say, I am this, I am brave, I am enough, I am beautiful, I am this, I am that. But they really do help, because If your friend came up to you crying, saying, I feel this about myself, I feel that about myself, I feel not confident, you're not going to turn around and say to your friend, you're right, you know. You're not going to say that.
Because you have to be friends with yourself then.
Exactly. You are your best friend. Your friends can come and go. People can come and go. Relationships can come and go. But you're the person that's going to be with yourself for 100% of your life. Why not be a person that why not be the person that likes you? Why not be your own best friend? Why not be the one that talks to yourself with the utmost respect? Because you actually can't guarantee that you're going to get that from someone else.
Interestingly, would you say then that positive self-talk, is it solely about speaking yourself up, or is it about being honest with yourself? Because sometimes, you know,
it's definitely about being honest with yourself, but it's about being honest with yourself in a way
that's progressive,
that uplifts you. Because there's something, if you're a person, let's just take a lazy person for example, you might sit down and say to yourself, or get real with yourself, like, bro, you're a lazy shit right now. You're a lazy shit. You need to get up and do something in order to do all of this stuff that we've been talking about on this channel, right? But then again, you don't know, like, you might have been through a traumatic time, you know, you might have been through certain life circumstances, or you might have just been in a position where you didn't even know that you were being lazy. But you've got to give yourself that grace and understand, and being like, all right, you know what, I was this version of myself, I'm not going to judge myself. I actually read a book. What book was it? I can't remember what the book was. You can't judge anybody, including yourself, for the decisions that they make and the choices that they've come to in their life, because it's just like, you don't know what person has had to go through. And even with yourself, the journey that you've been on, you can't judge yourself, because you don't know, somebody else might not know what they would have done in your position, and you don't know what you would have done in somebody else's position. So you still got to give yourself that grace, but be real with yourself. Don't be telling yourself you're the shit and you're not, because then you're never going to grow. And don't be telling yourself that you are not good when you are, because you're still never going to grow.
You've got evidence to say that otherwise, isn't it?
Exactly. Number 3 is stop playing the victim.
How does someone become the victim?
Too many people play the victim by feeling sorry for themselves. And that kind of caveats what I said in my last point, because in my last point, positive self-talk, you do want to be honest with yourself and give yourself grace, but you don't want to say, oh my God, this thing has happened to me, this thing has made me feel such a type of way, I can't do anything, or I can't get myself out of my current situation, because otherwise you're going to keep yourself stuck in the position that you always were. So many people play the victim and they're like, oh my God, this has happened to me, I couldn't get my grade because of this, or, you know, I wasn't able to have the best start in life because of this, or I don't have Wi-Fi so I couldn't learn a certain skill. If you really want it, you're going to go out of your way to get it. You are going to go out of your way to get it. How many people do you pass every day on the street asking you for £1, £2, £3? Can I have this? Can I have that? And I'm sorry, if somebody and this is not to throw shade on or anything on homeless people or people that are in a more destitute situation, but they've got nothing left. It's literally rock bottom. And some of them might play the victim, yes, but other people, they're not going to be afraid to come up and ask you for £1 because they literally have nothing to lose. And certain people with nothing to lose, those are the people you want to be scared of, because they're going to go harder for the things they want. But at the end of the day, it's not about playing the victim and saying, oh, I can't get this. Get up and get it. When you go to the shop or you go to get a takeaway, you don't go and stand at the takeaway shack and stand there and just expect the clerk to know what you want. You have to tell them. You literally have to say, I want this, and this. They'll tally it up and they'll give you whatever the price is, and you have to exchange a resource to go and get it. It's the same in life. You need to tell the universe, I want this, and this. And then whatever that resource is, the required work, is what you need to pay in order to get that thing.
It's funny though, because it sounds like when you was talking, it made me think some people are willing to tell others what they want from them, but won't say this is what I want from myself. Exactly.
Certain people don't hold themselves to the fire. You'll be quick to judge someone else for doing something, knowing that you, maybe previously or later on in your life, might actually go and do that thing.
Certain men are saying, my girl doesn't do this. What have you done, bro?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Certain women are saying, I need a man that has this. But what have you got?
Exactly.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, certain women will say, man needs to have this, and this. But they don't have house, car, fresh underwear to wear.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, I say that to say, playing the victim also, if you are playing a victim, you are also going to attract victim-like circumstances. And I'm going to give an example. Like, this is a personal example for me anyway. Some of you might be able to relate to this. Some of you might not. But I was in a position where my circumstances, I just wanted to move out of home. I wanted to get out of home and go just somewhere away, basically. And my mum had been saying to me for a long time, stay on the council waiting list, the housing list. And bear in mind, I had been at uni 4 years, 5 years. I had been on that waiting list for a very, very long period of time. So then I thought to myself, I can either stay on this list for a lot longer and have the unknown of, I don't know what this is going to look like. I can potentially be living at home for 2 more months, or it could be 2 more years. But I just thought to the point, like, I'm not going to play the victim. As much as it would be good to go on subsidized housing, and I would actually love to be on subsidized housing, I just thought to myself, I'm not going to play the victim anymore. If I want something, I'm going to go out and get it and find the resources to make that happen for me, which is what I did. But I didn't stay in that victim mentality, and I didn't stay in that victim mindset, and I went to get what I knew I deserved. So
just to be clear, you basically found somewhere to privately rent.
I basically found somewhere to privately rent, and obviously now I'm no longer on the list, but that has elevated my level of thinking, where it's just like, I now need to come up with a certain amount every month to be able to make that work. And as much as you may not have been ready to go into that, I may not have been ready to go into that circumstance initially, it's forced me take a path where it's like, I need to make that happen now. So I stopped playing the victim, and the universe rewarded me with non-victim circumstances. You see what I mean? If you want to overcome self-doubt, you need these 3 things. Build up your evidence, talk to yourself positively, but be real. Let me put that right here. Be real. And stop playing the victim. Yeah, start playing the victor. Let's be victors. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to be part of a community of audacious individuals, please see the link in the description. We'll catch you guys in the next video.